Okay, guys, I'm online and I'm live. Hello and welcome. Hello, Odd. Good to see you. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start my project of editing. All right, so here is about 15,000 words. Such a tiny stack for 15, right? But had to start somewhere, and this is very daunting for me, so I hope you guys can hear me. I hope some of you joined from last year. I know it has been a hot minute. I am not fast drafting a new story. I was going to, and then I realized I just really want to finish my story from last year, and I really procrastinate when it comes to editing and revising and all that. So I'm going to do something for me that's even more difficult than fast drafting or outlining, etc., and that's actually getting it finished. So currently I have 50,000 words, 15,000 are here. I'm going to start highlighting, figuring out some hot messes that I need to fix. Let's see. Okay. So you decided to take a break this year, Ad? The silence. All right. All right, so I'm going to do a 5-minute warm up for any of you that might be watching. Started at 1:40 Eastern. Okay, clarify what? What a hot mess. What a hot mess. Two more minutes for the warm-up. All right, so the 5-minute warm-up is over. Jack, I hope you can hear me. If you're still there and can hear me, can you give me a thumbs up? It's so sweet of you, yes. So basically what I'm doing is a live stream for Nanowrimo, but this year I'm a rebel. Nanowrimo is where one fast drafts a novel, a new concept, new story, etc. And this year I am not doing that. I'm revising my novel from last year. So, and I'm very intimidated by revising and editing my own work. So I can do it for other people, no problem. But for myself, it's very, very difficult. Hello, Justin. All right, so let's see. You're trying to warm up. My cottage at the forest lake had fog and now frost, so it's all white outside. Is this, Justin, is this in your story? Or like your actual, like where you are? I'm assuming it's your story, but I don't want to assume. There's a little bit of a lag, so, or a little bit of a delay. So I'll wait to see if you reply back. Your description, though, sounds so lovely. Like being at a cottage, the forest, the lake, the fog, and that's frost and white outside. I mean, that's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. If it is about your story, I need to warm up for a location. It's a waterfall. And I'm going to show this to you guys, whoever's watching. Okay. Hold on, let me get to my screen. Waterfall sucks balls bad. Like that's how badly I wrote the waterfall scene. Not just the waterfall scene, but like the description of the waterfall itself. And I love waterfalls. Been to plenty. I should know how to write it, but for some reason I just really struggled with the waterfall. Don't know why. So difficult for me. Okay, let's see. Justin, not my story. I live alone in a cottage on Sealand Island, Denmark. Oh my goodness. That must be so beautiful. I've been to several places in Europe, but I've never been to Denmark. So I'm in Miami, Florida. I should put that there. Here. All right, Justin, are you ready for a writing sprint? Are you warmed up some? Do you have a fireplace going? The only fire that I have going is a candle. That's it. All right, I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. Starting at 1:50 Eastern Standard Time. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and hit mute because of the other people in my home. So 15 minutes is set. This reminds me of Moore Cove, but darker. I said, my eyes examine, my senses respond, my mind captures just a speck in a novel from nature, the ceiling of aged current, edges of burnt parchment, and non-uniform geometric pattern walls, stained the well-loved ribbon floor, but oh, the cover, unicorn leather, magical from elsewhere, the water sheeting in front of me, inviting me in. It's beautiful, all yells. Can everybody hear me? How'd everybody do? I did not do well. I did not even get 100 words there. That's so pathetic. I'm really struggling, but again, it is what it is. It takes me a while sometimes to get into the flow. I'm going to take out my earbuds. See if that's... Are you still writing, Justin? Are you still there, Kaylee? Oh, wow. About 120 words here. I can't count, though, as I write in WordPad. That's good, though. 120 is good. It's something. For a second, I thought I had misread your post. I thought you were handwriting there for a second. So we're going to have like a little break, real quick break. Anyone want to share what they're working on? If you don't want to, don't feel like you have to. I'm being a rebel, though, this year. This is my first year of being a nano rebel. I'm glad you're here, Justin. So what's the time for you over there in Denmark, Justin? Are you more than 7 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time in the US? Maybe no one can hear me. Let me put my earbud back in. Oh, you could hear me. Okay, 7:09. Okay. So you're only 5 hours ahead. That's not bad. Okay. Let's see. Nah, I do have electricity and internet in the cottage, or I couldn't watch your stream. One winter, though, I spent in the vast Swedish forest, writing a novel with ball pen in notebooks. That's cool. I really can't imagine what that must be like living in a forest. The closest I can think of that is like when my parents bought a whole bunch of property when I was young, and we basically lived in a tent. This was like in Florida also, so it was hot and not necessarily beautiful, and definitely not winter. So Justin, I have to ask, because I'm just so curious. So with that winter that you spent in the Swedish forest writing your novel with a ball pen in your notebooks, did you finish the novel? And I don't mean to ask that in a way like it matters whether or not you finished it, but I'm just wondering because I haven't met, I don't think, too many writers that will do their complete manuscript in a notebook. I actually like writing by hand, but in the last couple of years, I do more typing. I swear I'm not laughing at you, Justin. I know I'm not laughing. I can relate to this. Okay, so Justin says, it was pretty dark in the Swedish forests, and so was my novel. Speaking of dark, there's a novel that I wrote in 2019 for Nanowrimo, and it was about a virus. Of course, not knowing what was going to happen, right? And it was such an amazing story. It's fully drafted. I want to add to it, but it ended up getting so dark, and it went in a way that I never expected it to go. And I don't know if I have the guts to finish it just because of how dark it got. So I kind of think I know what you mean a little bit. You did finish the novel, and it was published in 1999. Cool. So you've been writing for a while. Is it available for sale currently? Like, is it still available for sale? I have not published anything. I'm chicken. I'm an absolute chicken. I admit it. Even whether I were to submit to a publishing house, look for an agent, etc., editor, or even to self-publish, I'm an absolute chicken. That's why I'm being a NaNoWriMo rebel this year, because I want to get this finished and I want to get it published. So I think if I were writing two of the biggest novels that I've written that are not published, they still need editing and some revising, but they're big. They're really big. If I were to even think about writing either of those in a forest, I probably would piss my pants. I kid you not. I would be terrified. That's why I'm working on something that's light now. I needed a break. I guess my old novels are only available secondhand or in odd languages like Bulgarian, but I'm writing since 1986. Cool. I don't speak Bulgarian. I have a brother I have family, I should say. One of them is my brother, but I have family that do speak a lot of different languages, like Spanish, French, Italian, German, as well, of course, as English. I speak a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of Turkish. I'm still learning Turkish, but definitely not Bulgarian. But if you'd like to go ahead, if you don't mind, it would be really cool if you wanted to put the title of your novel in the comments section so that if anybody's watching and is interested, or someone in the future looks through the stream and sees the title of your novel, it might be cool. I personally like secondhand books and old books. I think the oldest book that I have is I want to say 1943. I want to say that's the oldest one that I have, and it's Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's a library edition. It's old. All right, so Justin, I think you are the only one here currently So are you ready to have another writing sprint? Okay, Justin says, you don't speak Bulgarian either. I understand Dutch, Farsi, Norwegian, Swedish, English, and German. You write in Danish and English. Okay, so you're a bit of a polyglot. That's cool. I envy that. And I admire that, being able to understand so many different languages. It's cool. All right, let's sprint. Okay, I'm setting the timer now. All right. I got a whopping 142 words that I'm probably going to scrap on that one. Oh my goodness. Approximately 100 words again. Ouch. The story I'm writing is for a Canadian journal, and I'm not used to Canadian English, so it slows me down. So, Justin, like when you mean Canadian journal, do you mean like an actual like publication, like a newspaper article, like document type thing? Like journal, like journalism. I ask because I don't want to assume. I agree, Justin. It's about quality and not, quality and not quantity. But the quality was horrid, like absolutely horrid. And I think I will most likely scrap everything that I just wrote. It's just, I don't even want to read it again. I was trying to clarify something in the story that wasn't making sense, and it just made even less sense. I don't like it. I could just be having an off day. It's also possible that today is just one of those off days and you just have to get junk out. And if that's the case, so be it. So back to your Canadian English. Since you're not used to Canadian English, do you have access to people that speak Canadian English, like to become more familiar with it? Oh, wow. It's for a Canadian Journal of Bioethics, a peer-reviewed scientific journal who occasionally publishes fiction. That's interesting. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. It reminds me of stuff that my brother does in Germany. He's my youngest brother. I have a lot of brothers, but he's the youngest one in Germany, and he published like 8 to 10 novels. I should know exactly how many, but I don't. And if I'm not mistaken, he was working on something that was peer-reviewed, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on it. This was a while ago, and I know now he's working on something else in Germany. But back to my question, do you have access to Canadian speakers to help you with your Canadian English? I just wonder. I'm curious. I'm nosy. Okay. Now I've just Googled the difference between British and Canadian English, but remembering it all, whew. I mean, yeah, there's definite differences between British, Canadian, and even standard American English. And I don't even want to use the word standard American English because depending on where you are in the United States, the English is so different. Like I'm in Miami, and so a lot of people here speak with some foreign accent, whether it's a Cuban accent, a Mexican accent, Honduran accent, Portuguese accent, there's Haitian accents. I mean, all these different accents in Miami. And for the most part, it's still all English, right? But when I moved to Nashville for a few years, oh my goodness, I could not understand what anybody said, even simple phrases. It sounded like a completely foreign language. It was so much more difficult than speaking to somebody that had, maybe come over from Cuba and had, extremely low level of English, like not even an A1 level. So like their English was so broken, their accent was so thick, and even that was easier than understanding country English. Like instead of saying, "What did you eat?" they would say, "What'd you eat?" Oh my goodness, it was really hard. So, one thing back to before I go to your next comment, Justin, something you might want to do is just get on YouTube and listen to people that are British speaking and listen to Canadians that are speaking. Might just help. I don't know. There is some unsolicited advice. I know for me that helps when I try to learn a language or try to understand something about a language. And you probably know that already. You did write another story for the journal and they did a little proofreading. Then it was fine. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good. You have, you have some experience doing this. And I think whenever somebody writes, doesn't matter what it's for, fiction, nonfiction, whether it's an actual just story, whether it's something like what you're doing for a peer-reviewed journal, usually another pair of eyes are needed to go over the piece before it's published. It's just, it's just normal. And it as writers, we are so often so completely close and attached to what we've written that we can't catch those little things that need to be cleaned up a bit. Same here. We have 25 Danish dialects and many can't grasp each other. I don't know that America, the United States, would have that many. I could be wrong. I mean, obviously dialect isn't the same thing as accent, but I know there are some differences, but and that many can't grasp each other. But yeah. I like hearing Danish. I think I could be wrong. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I'll just say this and we'll start on our next sprint. But there was a show on Netflix, and if I get this wrong, I really apologize. It's called The Rain. I think I saw the first two seasons. I want to say, was that Danish? It might not have been Danish. I could be wrong. Might not have been Danish. I don't think it was. But anyway, I do like different languages. All right, let's go ahead and get on to the next sprint. All right, this will be a 20-minute sprint. And I'm going to go ahead and start the timer now. How'd you do? How scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, more than any poltergeist or vampire could. It was so long ago when I saw that movie. Like, I have hardly any memories. Like, wasn't there like some kind of like embryo floating in space or something? I don't know. You know, when I tell you I saw that when I was a kid, it was probably like in the early 70s. I'm guessing, like a long time ago. I don't know if any poltergeist or vampire scared me when I was a kid. Now, the China doll scared me. There was like a legend about a China doll. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but that would give me nightmares. And you had about the same word count again. I did not even count my words. I struggled with literally 3 sentences for that whole 20 minutes, and I'm still not happy with it. So... Hello, Nicole. Yes, the embryo is from 2021. Hi, Nikki. Let's see. Welcome, Nikki. We just finished up a writing sprint. We're taking a quick little break. If you want to tell us what you're writing or where you're from, I'll tell you where I'm from. Justin also included where he's from. I'm in Miami, Florida. I am a nano rebel this year. I am not fast drafting a new story. First nano that I will not be drafting a new story. So I'm a little bummed for that. However, I need to get something finished. I have too many drafted projects, and I need to do the hard part of finishing them. And so that is what I'm doing this nano, is getting things finished, polished up for publishing. Nikki says thank you, and Justin says hi, good seeing you again. All right, I don't see any comments coming through right now. So if you guys are ready, we'll just go ahead and start another sprint. Or if you need a little bit more of a break, that's fine. I'm flexible. Oh, I wanted to ask you, Justin, do you have a deadline for what, like, I guess that would be the only word, deadline. Do you have a deadline for the piece that you're working on right now? Nikki writes, I am working on my nano projects. North Carolina, originally from Long Island. I am also a nano rebel. I have a total of 35,622 words so far in my book, Nikki. That is awesome. I am glad that you are also a rebel, Nikki. This is my first year being a rebel, and I feel kind of like out of place because I feel like I should be writing something new, and there are things that I want to write that are new, but I really need to finish this book. This is 15,000 words that I've printed out. And I have somewhere between 50 and 60,000 in the draft. And I just started with 15K to like revise and rewrite because some of it is absolute garbage. Or so severely underwritten that it's like kind of drafting, but not as much fun. And that's the hard part for me. Justin writes, I can sprint or chat or both. Multitasking is always well appreciated. And Nikki says hello back to Justin. Project, not projects. LOL, sorry about that. It's totally cool, Nikki. I mean, isn't one nano project almost like a series of projects? I mean, sometimes, at least in my brain, it feels like a series of projects, even if it's just one story. Justin writes, yes, I have a deadline on Monday, but need to send it Friday morning as I am occupied on Copenhagen Book Fair all weekend long. Oh, that sounds interesting. I mean, as far as like the book fair, the Copenhagen Book Fair, that sounds so cool. How many words do you have to write? I'm curious. I like approximate. Nikki writes, I am writing a trilogy. I'm on my first book of my series. That's cool. I'll keep that up there. The very first book that I wrote was supposed to be a single book. The outline, I got half of the outline written and drafted. 2000, I think it was 16. Could have been 2017, but I want to say 2016. It's one of those 2 years. So when I drafted that first 50K, 60K, whatever that one was, it only took up like half of my outline. And in those 50 to 60,000 words, it was severely underwritten. So I knew that it was going to have to be at least a duology. And now I realize it's probably going to be a trilogy. But I can't touch it right now. It's just, it's too big of a project for me. So go, Nikki. Justin has to write 15,000 max, and you've written a little over 14. Okay. All right, so you're almost there, Justin. That's good. So may I ask you, Justin, what the subject is? And if you can't, for privacy reasons, that's understandable. Nikki wants to know how my name is pronounced. It is Hava. Hava. So the pronunciation or the V is like elongated. So it's Hava, Hava. It's not Hava, it's just Hava. Take one book at a time. Yes. I know. That is good advice. That is wise. But it just became something that was just almost too big. Like epically, it was just, I spent, I think, 4 or 5 years just researching science for the novel. And I don't know. Maybe I've also a little bit, I think I'm maybe even a little bit intimidated by the story itself. I don't know. Justin writes, my first novels were a trilogy. Never did any sense. Do you think you'll do them again? Do you think you'll try again, Justin? another trilogy or so. Thank you. It's actually not my name. It's my pen name. But thank you. It's a Turkish name, and I fell in love with the Turkish language and culture, and watching some Turkish films and studies series and films and studying Turkish, came across the name Hava, and it just kind of clicked with me, and I liked it. So I'm glad you like it. I'm named after both of my grandmas on both parents' side. That's sweet. So I don't have any family names. Even my my given names, they're not family names. I'm almost the only one in my family that doesn't have a family name. Like every woman has like the same either first name or middle name, and I'm the one that doesn't. So I guess I'm a little bit bummed about it, but it's okay. But I like when people are named after family members. I think it's sweet. Justin writes, it's a court case drama about an android who wished to get citizenship as a human. It has fled from a lab, disagreeing to its creator's agenda. Oh my goodness. I could almost see that happening in real life. Like, I'm not even kidding you. But my question is, and I hope you're still here, because right now it says there's nobody watching, so I hope I didn't offend anybody, but if I did, that can happen, right? Okay, so it's a court case drama about an android who wishes to get citizenship as a human. It has fled from a lab, disagreeing to its creator's agenda. That's so neat. You guys. So Justin and Nikki, I see chatting in the comment section, but it says nobody's watching. So I don't know what's up with YouTube. Did I say something wrong? No, conspiracy theory here. Maybe this is because of the current subject we're talking about. So, but like, I mean, I've seen recently, like, different states, governments of state, etc. Like, it might be StreamYard. It could be. Who knows? But YouTube does weird things as well. They're having more Android type things, robots, etc. So I could see this actually, if AI becomes strong enough, I could definitely see where this could be a possibility. And wouldn't it be weird if it wanted to get citizenship as a human? All right, let me change subjects. Won't write a strict trilogy again, but I've written the first of a series of independent, readable mystery books. The protagonist is Portuguese, Orthodox Catholic, lesbian, police, woman. Well, that is an interesting mix, Justin. Aren't Portuguese? I shouldn't what's the word? Stereotype? I shouldn't put someone into a stereotypical category, but aren't people in Portugal mainly Catholic? And I ask because not just Portugal, because I do have some that are from Brazil that speak Portuguese, friends that speak Portuguese, and a lot of them are Catholic. Nikki says she's here. StreamYard. It could be StreamYard. I don't know. All right, you guys ready for another sprint? Drum roll. All right, I'm going to set the clock for 20 minutes. You guys can go ahead and start. And in case you can still hear me, I'm going to take a quick potty break, and then I will be back. But the alarm is set. Oh, Justin says, let's see, 20 minutes. I'll put 3:20 for starting, even though I already started it. EST. Okay, before we start the sprint, excellent reminders, Nikki. Thank you very much. Hydrate, eat, save your work, and don't feed the word demons. All right, I'm going to say something about saving your work because I actually had a scare today. I had started doing a lot of revisions, and I could not find it in the program, which is a pro writing aid. I have my work in Word. I have it in Scrivener, pro writing aid, and I also sent it to myself in email because back in 2016, I lost a lot of files. So I also have hard copies. And definitely hydrate, eat, and don't feed the word demons. All right. Justin writes, it's not set in Portugal, and she's based on a real person, as the mysteries are based on real events too. That's interesting. The virus novel that I wrote back in 2019 starts back like in the Justinian plague time period. I thought of even going further back, but it spans hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's based on real events too. So that's interesting. I like when there's real history, put into books. All right, so let's go ahead and get this sprint started. And like I said, I'm going to take a quick potty break, and then I will be back. Timer is on. Let me refresh it to 20, and it's set, and I'm going to mute. And for Nikki, because you're new, don't be surprised if you see me talking, moving, whatever. Sometimes I get, act things out sometimes, and in a point in the story where I'm a little frustrated, and I'm trying to get it worked out. So hope you guys enjoy this writing sprint, and I will see you in 20. How did everybody do? I had a funny moment. I'm going to put it in chat, and then I'm going to read it out loud, just so that I have it for memory. Let's see, copy and paste. All right, so I had music going. Oh, it didn't even all be put in the same thing. Oh well, I'll read it anyway. So I was getting ready to dictate, and I had a song going. So before I started speaking, dictation is picking up on the song, and so the song's in Turkish, and this is what the dictation types out: China, Moto, former Bush, first member, former Bush. So then, Longman, yeah, bigger, faster, Bush, Slam, membership, Bubbles, Pepsi, getting done, Z, Cortana, Pop, and Bobby, then I don't. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Oh. Justin writes, oh, you bet. My latest is about the enigmatic, unrelated disappearances of young teenagers from a small town. Among them, a girl vanishes from a bus while it drives between two stops. Wow. I don't know if I could write anything like that, Justin. I guess as a mom, I don't know. I think it would hit too close to home. I do watch some true crime. I used to be really, really, really big into true crime. I took a step back from that. But it's interesting. Haha, what in the world, right, Nikki? It sounds like it should be like, like some kind of like rap song, especially the end. Bigger, faster, Bush Slam, membership, Bubbles, Pepsi, getting done, Z, Cortana, Pop, and Bobby, then I don't. Like, you can't even make this stuff up. Oh. Nikki's right. I'm figuring out what to write in my battle scene. What kind of battle scene? Don't give any spoilers though. Like, I mean, you can, I guess, if you want to, but I always advise people, like, don't give too much information out, like specifics. I don't know. That's just me. Justin writes, true crime is splendid and stylish. All right, Justin, what do you mean by true crime? Do you mean like the genre as a whole? Or is it a particular YouTube channel? Because I think there's a YouTube channel that's called True Crime, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. Nikki writes, magic, a lot of power. Do you already have like the magic system like written? I would assume that you do. For my first big book from like 2016, 17, there was magic system in that one. But it wasn't they weren't inherently magical. They had to have something to give them power. So I guess you could say it was like a soft system. Justin means the TV series. Okay. I don't watch TV. I know that probably sounds strange. I will watch Netflix or Amazon Prime, but I've never seen the TV show True Crime. Yeah, you think so. All right, so do you want any help? Do you want any tips, Nikki? Do you want to ask a question like, should I do this or that? Let's see. All the kids in the academy have different powers, and they are trying to defeat a powerful witch. Okay. And she says, sure, tips would be great. Okay. So ask a question, maybe. if you want something specific, are the kids in the academy and obviously the witch they're wanting to defeat, is this the big battle that you're talking about, that you're trying to figure things out for? Sorry about that. Okay. She, the witch, has swing witches as her sidekicks. I don't know what you mean by that, honestly. Oops, I meant true detective. That sounds familiar. Is that one that's been running for like years? Where it's more like covering cases versus like what is that, like CSI type stuff where it's just mainly fictional? Nikki writes, I don't know how to make it all is almost lost. Okay, so you have there's a battle, you've got kids in an academy, and they're trying to defeat a powerful witch. And the witch also has other witches, I'm assuming, as her sidekicks, because I couldn't fully understand the comment. And you don't know how to make all is almost lost. Okay, the witch has sidekicks that are scary creatures. All right, you don't know how to make all is almost lost. Okay, I got you, Justin. Yeah, the name sounded familiar. Okay. The witch has sidekicks that are scary creatures, and you want to know how to make it almost all is lost. All right, do you want this to be like a quick all is lost moment? Do you want it to be a twist in the story? I mean, there's so many different ways to go. Like something could happen to the creatures. Like the kids with all of their powers do something to the witch to disable her scary creatures, perhaps make them less strong. Okay, they're a type of witch. Okay, they're shape-shifting. So maybe the kids could do something to cause these evil creatures not to be able to shapeshift, and therefore the kids now have this upper hand. They have a little bit more power than the powerful witch because her sidekick creatures have been somewhat disabled by the kids in the academy, their powers. But then in doing so, perhaps it backfires on the kids, and the creatures that had been temporarily disabled, no longer able to shapeshift, have now morphed into something even more powerful that the witch was not even aware of was possible. Does that make any sense? Okay, so the kids are too powerful for her to handle. I like that. And that's kind of like where I was going. Like the kids got one up on the witch. Like the kids were able to figure out how to kind of weaken the witch by disabling her sidekicks, the creatures, the shape-shifting guys. But in that moment of glory, it was very short-lived because then they ended up coming back even stronger. And it looks like all is lost now. I want to make it so my battle isn't boring. I hear you on that. Like real human kids. Kids are too powerful for her to handle. Kids are powerful, man. Yeah, human kids with special powers. I think as long as like you make the battle like believable, even okay, so obviously with fantasy, with supernatural elements, there's going to be the reader's going to need to know that they're going to have to suspend their disbelief, right? Let's say hello to Bonnie. Hello, Bonnie. New to your channel, and we'd be happy to sprint with you. We are taking a very short break, and we're going to be sprinting here in a few minutes, but we are very happy to have you, Bonnie. So feel free, make yourself comfortable. Feel free to chat, ask questions. I'm in Miami, Florida. I want to say Nikki is, was it North Carolina? I forgot. Justin is in Denmark. But love to have you here and have you join us. We've been going for about 2 hours and 17 minutes. We'll probably wrap it up, I don't know, 30 minutes to 45 minutes or so. We'll see how it goes. But definitely happy to have you here, Bonnie. Let's see. Okay, your main character is an empathetic spirit healer. I'm guessing they are not a all right, so is the spirit, okay, is your main character, who is the empathetic spirit healer, are they one of the kids at the academy, or are they a teacher at the academy? Nikki says Bonnie, being Bonnie is really cool. Okay. I'm glad to see that you guys know each other. That's so cool. Yes, they are one of the kids. Okay. I like Justin's idea here that the witch maybe could disguised as a kid and figure out their plan, or ask other witches to help out. I like that idea. But, and I'm sorry, Justin, I just gotta go with the but. I almost feel like it's too much of a cliche for the witch to shapeshift as a kid or to disguise herself as a kid, because it's, I don't know. But I mean, witches can do that kind of thing. I don't know. Who am I to give advice, right? I kind of like the idea as the kids using their powers against the witch, only to have their powers, give them a very short-lived victory, a false victory. And then when they realize that not only did they not win, did they not get a one-up on the witch, it's even worse than it was when they started, and it really looks like all is lost. And so for me, I think that is almost, not that there's no cliche there either, but I just think for me, it just seemed, I don't know, it's what came to my mind, like in my brain. Nikki writes, I agree. Bonnie says, great discussion. Thank you, Bonnie. She could disguise as a frog princess. But then we'd have to have, what is it? A romantic subplot, Justin. If we're going to have a frog princess, right, then we got to have the whole romantic subplot. We don't know if Nikki wants to go there because writing romance can sometimes suck. You guys are already a hoot, I can tell. What about a cat? Right? Which is how, right? The black cats? I don't know. Bonnie writes. That still cracks me up, Justin. I guess that's so funny. All right, you guys want to go ahead and jump on a sprint? Let's see. Maybe she can make them think that way. They panic a little, and some of the other kids can tell them they don't believe her. She's tricking you. Maybe she can make them think that way. They panic a little, and some of the other kids can tell them they don't believe her. She's tricking you. Okay, so do you mean like the kids attempt to... Like the kids attempt to disable the witch's sidekicks, and they really don't. The witch just lets them think that they do to soften them up a little bit, to catch them off guard. Is that what you mean? Because if so, I mean, that's another great... Because then the reader... it doesn't even matter what the reader thinks at that point. It's like... It's different than what's being written, because it probably would be written as the kids have the upper hand, and then you find out they really don't. The witch still has the upper hand. So that's interesting. Okay, Nikki writes, then they win the fight for now. Yeah, a false victory. And I'm pretty sure that's a trope, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I've been on the tropes.com website. I think it's probably been a year or two since I've been on that site. But I think the false victory is definitely, or false win, is a trope. Justin writes, yep, that's the point of my story too. The android, the jury, the judges, and the press all think she's won, but really it's just the lab deliberately hiding who's in power. That's good. I could so see that happening. I'm not even kidding. With AI, like that, kind of like in that Johnny Depp movie, was it Transcendence? Something like that, where AI becomes so powerful. All right, Bonnie wants to sprint. I want to sprint. I know you guys want to sprint, so let's sprint. All right, starting at 4 p.m. officially, Eastern Standard Time, a 20-minute sprint. You guys want to go ahead and get started? Go ahead. Bonnie writes, I love all of this at just in case. Right? Yeah, I agree. It's interesting. Yes, please sprint. Yay. All right, okay, let's go. Sprint. Sprint away. I am now on mute. Oh my goodness. Hutch, what are you doing in here? Oh my goodness, look at all you guys. I missed so much chat while I was writing away. Oh my goodness, hold on. I have to scroll all the way back. Hutch comes in here. Look at this. I did not expect that. Oh my goodness. All right, give me just a minute, you guys, to catch up with chat. I don't even know how many words I got in on that one. Okay, I see. Okay. Hey, Hutch. SKM Keith, hello. All right, so a lot of these guys I'm saying hello to are in the prepping and homesteading community. These guys are awesome. So if you don't follow their channels, follow their channels. They're some cool guys and gals. All right, so again, we got Hutch. I got Keith. Oh my goodness. Justin, thank you for welcoming everyone. What are we doing? All right, what we're doing is we are typically for Nanowrimo, we write a new draft, new story, 50,000 words, fast draft. And we got a month to do that, all of November. This year, I'm a rebel. I am revising and editing my novel from last year because I need to get it done and I'm tired of procrastinating because that's what I do. Yeah, no sound during the sprint. I mute myself because I have a tendency to act things out and speak, and sometimes that can be really scary when I dictate. So, you know, anyway, not just you, Hutch. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you for letting everyone know. Okay. Charlie Dorset is streaming at 5 p.m. on Twitch. I don't have Twitch. Don't know. I mean, I thought Twitch was just for video games because my teenagers are on it sometimes, but I don't know anything about it. Nicole, you're having a live stream at 3 p.m. Eastern on Friday. All right, I'm going to write down what, okay, Nikki. No, of course not. I do not mind. I do not mind at all. Thank you for asking, but I do not mind. If you have a channel, throw up your link. I do not mind. Just don't ask me to do it because I don't know that I would know how to do it. So if you have a channel, as long as you're not, of course, hurting someone, throw up your link. Okay? It doesn't matter what kind of channel it is, whether it's prepping, art stuff, writing, cooking, whatever. Put it up. If you did not yet put yours up, Nikki, please let me know what your channel is. I should be home by 3 p.m. on Friday. I usually do my live streams around this time. I started earlier today because I'm up at 4 in the morning for work. I started working a few weeks ago, and I have to be up at 4 in the morning. And I'm having a really hard time having energy in the evening, and I also have to go to bed super early. So if you could put a link to your channel, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like write down your name and I'll look for it. Okay. But no, I do not mind. Let's see. Nicole, right on. Trying to find your channel now. Hey, Appalachia. Good to see ya. You guys have me tickled. You guys have me tickled. Look, I'm blushing. I'm actually. Oh my goodness. Hutch is asking for wrenches. Are you saying that to me? You want me to give you a wrench? Hutch, you want a wrench, or do you want a wrench for her channel? Like who do you want a wrench from? I'm just saying. I don't know who you want a wrench from. Bonnie says I use both. Dictation is great for nano word count. That's I used a lot of dictation, Bonnie, and it's good. It's fun. It's fun for writing, especially if you're writing something like really dramatic, or if you need those words in. But man, if it's a bad dictation program, or if one is not enunciating, which sometimes can be myself, if I'm being completely honest, if I let that sit, like even just a week or two, it's like I go back and I'm like, what was I writing? Hutch Homestead, yes, wrench me. I'm awesome. Oh my goodness, I know you're awesome. I don't know how to wrench you though. Tell me how to wrench you and I will wrench you. Hey, Laura. All right, so for all you writers in here, so Nikki and Justin and Bonnie, all these people that have just crashed my live stream, they are awesome. So you should go follow their channels. They're awesome people. 51 words at time. That's probably about what I did. 3 dots next to my name, add moderator. I'm going to try right now. We'll see, Hutch. Well, we'll do this live. All right, we'll do this live. Let's see if I can add you as a moderator. Let's see. Okay, you should be a moderator now, Hutch. First ever moderator on my channel. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. Oh, and that's I give you a wrench and this is what I get. ... Should at least put a little squirrel in there. You ever gonna get us a squirrel shirt? 1 second, I know. I'm busting your chops, Hutch. Are you still here, Justin, or did we scare you away? If anybody has any tips on how to write a freaking waterfall, that would be great. I'm stuck. I don't know how to write a freaking waterfall. I love waterfalls too. That's a crazy part. And I mentioned that like in the very beginning of my live stream. My waterfall scene stinks. Like I do not know how to like legit describe water, especially waterfall water. There's Justin. We didn't scare him away. I'd had time to welcome to the Smurf Club. Oop. All right, we're just waiting. We are waiting on Hutch. Hutch is the moderator now of this channel. I actually have a moderator. I feel so official. So strange. Anyway, I don't know how do we become a Smurf club? I actually like Smurfs. Well, Hava, I'm not a writer there, girl, or I would help you out a little. Oh, thank you, Laura. That's sweet. Thank you, Hutch. Okay, so this is the link to Nicole's channel. She is having a live stream, 3 p.m. I believe it's Eastern Standard Time on Friday. I'm trying to scroll back up, see if I can catch it. If I'm wrong, or if I'm right, if you want to just confirm that. Nicole's link. I can only write when I'm bored. How are you ever bored? You're always doing something. You come up with arts and crafts on your channel, okay? Motorcycle Dude, gardener, comes up with a craft show on his channel, okay? I'm an art teacher. It's like part of my job, Well, it was before COVID hit. Yeah, I said the C word. All right, he beats me to these great ideas. That's the stream link. Okay. Justin is moderating 3 tarot channels, a Danish, a Spanish, and a marathon reader streaming from Florida. My record is 20 hours and 51 minutes nonstop live. Wow. 20 hours and 51 minutes nonstop live. I don't know what the longest live that I've done. I could go back to last year, when I only did a few live streams. There weren't many. I want to say my longest was like maybe 4 hours. Hutch has lots of integrity, folks. He does. And squirrels. I knew what you meant by marathon, Justin. Okay, Hutch. Now you're just showing off on my channel. I feel so weird. You're not making me feel weird. I feel weird. Right, Laura? 20 hours, nuts. All right, you guys ready to sprint again? I mean, we're warmed up. My channel just got rated. I gave a wrench out. Might as well do another sprint while I'm on. All right, you're in for one more? All right, anyone else? Drum roll. That wasn't a drum. Well, even if it's just Bonnie and I'm going to sprint. Let's do it. Sprint. Are you going to write? Are you going to write, Hutch? I want to know. Hutch, are you going to write? You're going to write a poem. That's what you would do. You'd throw us all off and just like write a poem. All right, Justin's ready to sprint. All right, let's sprint. All right, we're going to do 15 minutes for this last one for the day. Starting at 4:33 and go. All right. Sorry, guys. Oh, no. What did I miss? Oh, my goodness. What did I miss? I don't even want to know. I find it hard to sprint with no timer. I know, Bonnie. I actually meant to get a timer up on the screen. I just haven't figured out how to do it, and I haven't tried to figure out how to do it yet, to be honest with you. Is there no sound? Oh, Keith, there is sound. Okay. She's going to have some choice words for Hutch when she unmutes for sure. I don't know if I want to go there. I don't know. I don't think I even want to look. No, Laura, I was not looking at chat. My ex also acted out her stories as she wrote them, and so did Virginia Woolf, by the way. You know, I've always done, no, with the big novel, the one that I started like in 2016, 17, like physically writing it, the one that I started researching it back like in 2012. And that's when I used to listen to like Monograph a lot. But there was a scene like where this pirate, right? Okay, so there's this hybrid creature, and there's a cave, right? And then there's a hybrid creature, and there's fire, and there's a pirate. And the guy's a pirate. I don't know what it's like to be a pirate, but I want to get close to this hybrid creature. I couldn't figure out how to write the words on the paper. So it was probably like maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night. And so I got some candles, I put them on my desk, and I pretended that in my chair where that I would normally write in, because I was obviously at this point I was standing up. So in my chair, on the opposite side of the table, is my imaginary hybrid person that's in my story that I need to write about. So the hybrid chick is there. The fireplace is my table. There's candles on it, and I'm on the other side. I'm thinking, okay, Belle, that's my name in case you just caught it. I'm like, all right, gotta be a pirate. So I'm like trying to be a pirate. I know that doesn't look like a pirate, but I'm trying to be a pirate and try to swag. And I'm like, you know, just like trying to give her the food and like be a man, be like dominant, you know? So, and it took a few runs of doing it. And so I could figure out like how it felt to like be in a dark place and etc. So whilst I'm doing this, my youngest, he must have been 7 or 8 at the time, I'm thinking, he comes down the hallway. I don't know why, he was past his bedtime, but he's like, Mommy, are you okay? I was like, yes honey, I'm fine. I'm just trying to write this scene. And it was I said, it's a really hard scene for Mommy to write because I don't know what it's like to be a guy and I don't know what it's like to be a pirate, and I'm trying to act it out. And that he understood because I also teach drama and have acted on stage before. So that was a rant. So we have just found out what Hava geeks out on that you really have no idea. Hutch already sprinted to the corner store and back by the time she took the mute off. Right? All right. How did everybody do that did write some scenes or some words? Anybody get some words in? I got in just under 130. Just under 130. Which isn't a lot, but it's a lot, I guess, for me when I'm revising because it's something that I personally stink at. I procrastinate when it comes to revising and making things all nice. Let's see. Trying to see if I missed any chat. That's funny. I would say an attendant, Justin. Just wondering what your name is on Nano site. Probably Spinner Chick. I'll put it in chat, Bonnie. I'm glad you did well, Justin. Yeah, I think that's a wise choice. Word choice, attendant. You seem like a very creative person. If you're speaking about me, I can be, but then sometimes also not. I mean, it really depends. I mean, like, there are days where there's just like, I don't know, maybe even sometimes like overwhelmed, like a sense of being overwhelmed, or like there's so many ideas that I just get stuck into like an absolute procrastination zone. But then when I'm really into something, like when I'm really into something, I devour it. I become obsessed. It's like, it's really hard to explain. So if you're talking about me, Bonnie, yeah, I am creative. I'm not the most creative by any means, but someday gonna need the story for that name. I think you might be talking about that one. There's really no story behind it, really. Are you still here, Nikki? I don't know if I missed your, if you were in chat and I overlooked it. If I did, I apologize. Oh, with the drama and the writing and everything else, art teacher, I would say you're creative. Yeah, I guess you could say that. I definitely have a lot of, I think everyone's creative though. But yeah, you could say. I guess I don't say that about myself, because I get inspiration also from other people, and other people inspire me. But yeah, I guess you could say I'm creative. What did Laura say? You need to get Hutch to get up there and read his story to the class. I would probably lose all my subs, Laura, and I have like probably 50 subs right now. I'm like, that's great, you know? He probably would tell a very, very scary story. And that says a lot, because my stories have been sometimes so dark that I don't want to revisit them. So I think he just might scare my chat away with his story. That's true. That's so true. Nah, I honestly, I wouldn't even know how to get Hutch up here. Like, I'm bad. I don't do. I have 79. Okay, cool. Thank you, Laura. I don't know. I don't keep. Right? I'm telling you, Bonnie, it's so crazy. In 2019, I wrote. This was for Nano of 2019. I wrote a story about a freaking virus. I kid you not. I wrote a story about a freaking virus, not having any idea what was about to transpire. And it was a great story. But it got so dark at the end when 2020 actually hit. I didn't want to look at that story. And it's kind of going in the direction that I wrote. And I don't by any means say that I'm a prophet or anything, because I'm definitely no prophet. And it's not there. But man, it got so dark and so twisted, and I just, and I don't mean like slasher. It's more like humanity and what humanity is doing other humans. It was just, and again, it's not a gore thing. It's a societal, what is the word I'm looking for? Deterioration and change is just, it's just gross. Moonchild. Aw, thank you. You guys are so sweet. I got so, you guys are so sweet. First of all, thank you everybody for coming into this live stream. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I had kept wanting to do these and then put it off and didn't do it. And I remembered last year how much fun it was, and have been part of this wonderful prepping and homesteading community. And they all just like jumped into my chat. And I got like off track. Like it was hard for me to like get back into writing. I felt like giddy, like, it was like my birthday or something. Like all my friends showed up to my party, which I never expected, so it was kind of cool. So I'm super, super, super thankful that you came in to say hello. And I apologize if I'm missing anybody. I've never had this many people in a chat before. So Bonnie's right. I tried writing a quarantine story. I just couldn't. You're so relatable. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you. I had a plot bunny come up last year. Last year I wrote an enemies to lovers story. Let me tell you, the story makes me blush when I think about it. And that's what I'm working on for Nano as a rebel. I'm doing the enemies to lover revision because I want to get it published, but I wanted to do something light and fun after writing that virus book. And so, but one of the plot bunnies that I had whilst writing this enemies to lovers trope was about these like surveillance robots. And it's like, I'm definitely not going to write that now. It's like, there's already too much surveillance in my opinion. Like we need more freedom, less surveillance. I'm just going to say my piece about that. Hava, can I have a wrench? Do you really want a wrench, Keith? I'm back. I had to do a bio break. I'm glad you're back, Nikki. Justin writes, I once wrote a story about astronauts who return infected with a virus that spreads globally. Luckily, it wasn't worse than the common flu, except it turns people into uninterested in literature. That's interesting. I couldn't imagine not being interested in literature, or I couldn't imagine not being interested in anything. Like, I mean, there's things that are over my head, don't get me wrong, but like literature is just, it's cool. It's, oh my goodness, especially if you can like relate to it and you can connect with it, or if it triggers like, or if it triggers like a past memory, even though it could be fictional, but like I've read some fiction, some works of fiction, and it's like, did they know things about me? That's kind of cool. You can relate to stuff. No, Hava, you didn't scare me away. I'm glad, Nikki. Bonnie is writing fantasy adventure. I also write adult stuff. Well, considering some of the people that are in my chat right now, I'm not going to comment about any of the adult stuff, but we'll just say. Hava, me and Keith want a wrench also. It's no fair that Hutch gets one and we don't. We feel like we're being left out. I'm going to come back to that in just a second. Just bear with me. I want to get... to the rest of the chat. Hold on a second. Is the virus Wi-Fi? LOL. Okay. I think I got everyone. No. Oh my goodness. Speaking of school, I got to get up at 4 in the morning. Ugh. It's only 5 o'clock right now. 1 wrench per stream. No, I mean, I've known Laura probably for a year, and Keith too, and Hutch. I want to say that long. I don't know, maybe longer. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't mind. I could always unwrench somebody, right? I mean, I can give the candy and take the candy away, right? Did not say that. Did not say that. Besides, it's like, okay, this is my opinion on adult stuff. All right, I'm just gonna lay it out here. If anyone disagrees with the adult stuff, that's fine. I think adult stuff is great. The problem that I have with adult stuff is that it is often so gratuitous and unnecessary that it takes away from like anticipation and passion and desire, and you're just putting it all out there because it's adult. Well, like if you're an adult and you're reading adult literature, you don't need explicit filler. Like your brain should already be able to go there, if you catch my drift. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. And I think someone else is starting a live stream on Twitch right now around 5 o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead and, if you guys are still in chat, I'm going to go ahead and wrench Laura and Keith. Give me just a second here. I have to look for you guys. Okay, Laura, I added you. All right, and you as well, Keith. Okay. No adult stuff. I just said my piece, though. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to look for your channel. I wrote it down. And then Hutch linked your link in chat for 3 o'clock on Friday. Let's get rid of McDonald's, right? Let's see, there was where'd it go? Where'd it go? Thank you, Nikki. Bye. Hutch. I don't think I've ever read anything on Wattpad. I know my eldest has. I think she's written on Wattpad as well, but I haven't read anything on Wattpad. Nice meeting you too, Bonnie. Have a good night. It doesn't have any less of anything. That's not it. Anyway. Make sure you take your shoes off, Hutch. Thank you, Keith. I appreciate that. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. It is 5 o'clock. I want to wind down, and I'm sure there's some live streams probably going to be happening soon, and I got to be up at 4 in the morning. So thank you to everyone that has been on this live stream. Thank you to everyone in the prepping and homesteading community that bombed my chat and made me feel giddy. It was very, very sweet. I much appreciate it. And thank you to all the fellow writers that have been writing, I wish you much success. And now just Josh is here. Bam! We got more people coming. Oh my goodness. Josh. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Keith. Good night. All right, so Josh, you missed it. I'm wrapping up here. 10:09 p.m. here. Okay, Justin, good night. Yes, get some breakfast. Hope to see you on another live. It was nice chatting with you. Hope to visit Denmark one day. That would be super cool. Just Josh, I'm getting back to you. Oh, what was I going to say? Okay, yeah, so I've been doing a writing stream. And then a whole bunch of people from the prepping and homesteading community came into my chat. And that's what happened. So it's been great. But I want to wrap things up, get some food. I want to have a nice fat glass of wine. And then get to bed in a couple of hours. Thanks for inspiring evening in chat. See you. Blessings. Thank you, Justin. This wasn't class, Laura. This wasn't class. Although I guess you could say that maybe some of you guys got to see maybe some of my personality. I don't know. So that's about it, I guess. That maybe I really exist. I'm not just somebody someone commenting in chat, right? You actually get to see my face. Are you talking to me, Josh?
Fortnite.
Not the Josh you're thinking of, kid. See, I got this thing that when when I'm streaming, my kids never want me to say their name, so I just call them kid. Yeah, you were talking to me. You got me locked in now. Oh no. All right, well. Oh my goodness, Aces, I was wondering about you. Oh my goodness. How are you? I just ended, well, technically we just already ended our stream. I remember you from last year. Yes, I remember you. Yes. Yes, you're a teacher. You live in South America. I want to say Brazil, but I could be wrong. Argentina, Chile. I don't know. But yes, I totally remember you, Aces. You would always give me these big smiles. I'm glad you're doing well. We've been online. We've been streaming for about 3.5 hours now. So I'm already like wrapping it up for today. I was right. Brazil, cool. It'll be tomorrow. I don't know exactly what time though tomorrow. Because of the whole COVID thing, I am not teaching the way that I would normally teach. And well, last year I was still teaching, but just not how I would traditionally teach. Well, now this year I'm not teaching at all. And I actually got a real job. And I have to be up at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I get home around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So maybe 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That might be when I can stream again. The problem, honestly, that I'm having is that the work, if I were to tell everybody what I did or what I do now for a living, for a job, they would be like, oh, that sounds so easy. No, it is so physically exhausting. It is like when I was a therapist, when I had my textile shop, when I did like yarn also as a business, and when I had a farm with sheep and goats and horses. Like put all of that together, and that is how hard my job is physically. And so I'm exhausted, but it's good for my body. It's only been like 3 weeks, and I've already like built so much more strength that I have lost since not farming. So I'm very thankful, but I am super, super tired. I'm not as tired, but I'm still tired just because of the weird schedule and the physical exhaustion. But I am going to try to stream for Nano this month every single day. I just don't know when. So, bug, stupid, real jobs. I actually love my job. I really like it. It's just that I have to train my body to not be on live streams till 1 a.m. That's when Hutch usually is on a live stream, or Native, right? So, you have all these great channels that are live streaming it. Like, they don't start till 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And I want to be, in chat watching these streams, but I can't anymore. I have to get to bed. And if I don't get to bed, 4 o'clock is not, 4 o'clock is just really early for me. But anyway, Aces, I will definitely be trying to, but again, it's going to probably be sometime between 2:30 and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That was really, really long-winded, Aces. I apologize, but I am so thrilled to hear from you. I'm even tickled at my own memory that I remembered that you were from I knew that you were from South America, and I was thinking Brazil, but the fact that I was even right was cool. So, and I'm really, really glad to see you here. So, oh, that's nothing, baby. Aces, this ain't nothing. I've got more like all the way down there. This is like a double-sided shelf, so I have like more board games behind, and I collect European board games. I know that sounds so snobby of me. I guess I don't care. So like I've got like Puerto Rico and Dominion and Power Grid and Catan, some basics. And then I have some that are less popular, like Maori. But anyway, we're not going to talk about games. Blame it on Hutch, right? All right. Anyway, I'm gonna run, because otherwise I'm just gonna keep talking, and I've already been on here for 3 hours and 40 minutes. So, Ticket to Ride. Okay. Oh, Ticket to Ride. So Catan. I like Catan. That was the first. I want to say Catan was the first Euro game, because it's kind of like an entry, right? It's like an entry board game to the Euros. So, but Ticket to Ride, I have two. I have Ticket to Ride America, and I have Ticket to Ride Europe. I have both of those. So, all right, Aces, good night. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. And to everyone else, good night all. I'll probably see some of you guys in chat. Just be nice. You guys jumped in and you saw me being me. I don't know if it's what you expected from me being in chat with all you guys, but it is what it is. But just be nice. Don't come for me. All right, I'm going to put it here. Good night, all. Thank you, Bug. That's so sweet. Aw, thank you, Aces. You're just making me blush. Go. You're making me blush, Aces. Thank you, Justin. I feel so blessed to have everyone pop in. So thank you. Definitely will be doing this again. Laura, thank you. If I didn't show your heart, Bug, thank you. Laura, again, thank you. All right, this is it. I'm really wrapping it up. Thank you, Keith. Good night. All right, I'm going to end the broadcast. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys in chat tonight. But if it's a late chat, I won't be there because I got to be up at 4 in the morning. Good night, all.